Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're all here joining us, some of you for the first time. So, welcome, and just be sure to say hi if you haven't already, so I know where you're at and we can put you in line for a reading. So, tonight's show, we've got a really great topic. It's Got a Minute, which we'll get into that here in a minute. But for anyone who might be joining us for the first time, of course, the first reading is always free. But going forward after that, it's just $10 per reading, or you can do $100 and cover every single show of the month, which happens 3 times a week. So that's a pretty sweet deal there. Now, the topic tonight, I don't have much to say before I turn it over to Christopher for the evening to do the readings. But I do have a quick little introduction, which I was visiting some family recently. That's why I wasn't on the show about a week ago here. And one of my aunts, Eleanor, she's one of my absolute favorites. She's so funny. Every joke she hears, she tells to everyone too. So she shares the laughter. She's really just a love. And we got to talking a little bit about religion. And I tried to mention or explain the kind of principle that reality is an illusion. It's very much a Buddhist idea that all of this suffering is illusory. Well, it's not just space that's an illusion. Time is an illusion as well. And what I was trying to explain to Aunt Eleanor was that there are there's really no such thing as the past. It only exists in our memory. And the future only exists in our imagination. So both of those things don't actually exist. But the present doesn't exist either, because that's just an instant that flashes from past to future, and then it's done. So the present doesn't exist either. It's an asymptotic approach from both past and future. So time is an illusion. Long story short. I hope that I'm explaining that okay. But thank you all so much again for joining us. Enjoy your time while you're here. And here's Christopher. Thanks for tuning in.
Wow, thank you all for being here. We've got Christine from Bogota, Colombia joining us tonight. So thank you for being here, Christine. We pull a card for everybody in the order that they joined the show. So please be patient. And but even though I pull a card for you, as I've said many times before, the message may be for everyone else on the show or for another person in particular. But I always take this blessing and light the incense and give you this blessing to make every moment count. And the title of the show is Got a Minute? Because 1 minute, 1 second can change our lives. I was a missionary. I lived in the Republic of China for many years. And I came back and I began this journey of self-improvement. And I had a great teacher, still do. But I spent several months training my brain. And then one day, as I was leaving the seminar, the session, she just turned to me and said, "Can't you just leave the church?" And it was like, boom. Now, had she asked me a week before, a month before, I was like, no! Because I had wrapped up my salvation with the church, not necessarily my spirituality. Anyway, I won't get into that. That's about 30 shows to have to explain all that to you. But I won't get into that. My point is that one question changed my entire life. So this card is about the brain. So I wanted to share this quote from Einstein. And Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So to solve a problem, you have to see it with clarity. And are we really seeing our problems with true clarity? Here's why. There's something called negativity bias. So the amount of brain resources creates a really strong or long memory. And when something traumatic happens to us, we fall off a cliff and are caught by a ledge, we are in a car accident, someone around us passes away, those moments, the brain turns on all of its resources and it can create a negativity bias, but it's there to protect us. Okay? So we may be walking on a curb alongside the road and all of a sudden go, oh my God, this is like that time I fell off the cliff and I had landed on a ledge, right? Or we could be horrific passengers in cars, just be a nervous wreck because maybe when we were 5, we were in a car accident. It's called that negativity bias. And that's what, talking about the illusions of time, is it's why you don't remember being in the 4th grade during the geography class. You probably weren't using very many brain resources. During that time, you were looking at the clock going, oh my God, when is this class over? But a negative experience, you can actually remember very, very well because of all the resources in the brain. But my point of telling you this is that was then, this is now. And I think that's what Kennan meant by the illusion of time. Is time actually, on a physics level, there is a certain measurement of time and space. But as Werner Heisenberg, the founder of quantum physics, said, the universe is stranger than we can think. Okay? And even Einstein said that we know 1/1000th of 1% of how the universe works. So we don't know very much. So I love having you be on the show to be open to the possibilities. And I think if you've been on the show a while, you've all experienced that. So what I do first is I light the incense for you to help you release any of that negativity bias because it was appropriate at the time. It probably saved your life. But it's not so necessary right now. So one of the things that I always tell my clients is this simple exercise right here. It's crossing the brain hemispheres and just saying over and over again, I am safe, 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 I am safe. And it helps to build those new neural pathways around those negativity biases. Okay. Now, the group card for tonight is so appropriate. It's called the sacrifice. Sacrifice means to make sacred. So, are you willing to make sacred or sacrifice all of your former ways of thinking, all of the trauma, all of the negative expressions, and have gratitude? Because the sacrifice is a showing of gratitude or making sacred, to have gratitude for every one of those negative experiences because they were there to show us, to teach us, and to protect us. But again, that was then, this is now. So now is the time to rededicate your life to your journey. And it's letting go of the negativity. It's sacrificing that negativity, making that negativity sacred. Because when you make sacred, you open the doors to infinite wealth. Thank you. Okay. Who is on first?
John's first.
John's first. Okay. John in Wyoming, thank you for being here. So this card is for John. But as most of you know, it also pertains to each one of you, at least the message and the energy behind it. So, who are you to not be powerful? Who are you to be weak? You are here to do a work. Step into your power. And anywhere, John, where you were not made powerful, or any time you perceived someone took your power, are you willing to let go of that now? And fully, easily, and comfortably step into this power. The more you step into your power, the more things easily align. And are you willing to let go of the belief that you have to give your power away, or give your power to someone else, or give your power to a higher power? Well, where is that higher power, right? It's like asking, well, where is God? Well, he's everywhere. Okay? So claim your power fully, and you'll start noticing synchronicities, how things begin to line up. And others will begin to view you as magic, or they'll label it as, oh, you're just so lucky. No, you're stepping into your power. Here we go, okay? Who's next?
Very good. It's Marilyn Pitts.
Hey, Marilyn. So, Marilyn, we've been praying for Larry and sending him lots of great energy. But this is to make sacred or make sacrifice, in other words, make sacred this whole experience, because it's revealed to you, or it's been being revealed to you, that these soldiers that have crossed over, that Larry knew, were absolutely with him. I just get this tremendous loyalty. We've talked about, you've done really well with sending lost spirits on, because you've been such a light. but this is also you becoming more aware of the angels or the entities around you, for your healing, and for Larry's. And for you to experience, this is the Guardian card. What a beautiful card, Marilyn, that you're in the flow. You're in the flow of life now more than you ever have been. So give yourself some credit for that. And it's because of all the negative experiences you've been through that have helped create this flow, and then make sacred those negative experiences. That old way of thinking, offer them up. Wow, beautiful thought. Okay.
Very good. Marilyn Pitts. After her is Abby and Marilyn.
Marilyn Pitts and Abby and Marilyn.
Yeah, you got
Okay.
Marilyn Pitts just now, though, right?
What?
You just got Marilyn Pitts just now, though.
Yeah, I just got Marilyn. Okay. Now we have Marilyn and Abby in Surfside, South Carolina. Okay. Here we go. Fantastic. You know what? I just want to, so we've got the power card for John. We've got the guardian card for Marilyn. So thank you both for being here. Because tonight, these are just very brief readings. As you know, because I've given you pretty much all a full reading. But what a couple of beautiful cards and messages for all of us to know that there's these guardians around us. Okay, Marilyn and Abby. So Marilyn, this journey to enlightenment, it offers you the opportunity to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. And sometimes it's like, am I ever going to get through this? Yeah, you are. But what I'm seeing right now is, years ago I read for this gentleman came up to me, and I said to him, you're going to have a very odd experience this weekend. Now, this guy was completely left brain, just not really open to woo-woo. And so he came back Monday morning and he hunted me down. It was somebody I worked with. It was actually one of my managers. He hunted me down and he said, Chris, he goes, you were right. He said, they went to Sedona for the weekend, he and his family, and they decided to go into a chapel up there. The chapel's beautiful in Sedona. It's built on these red rocks, and it's set up above the city. It's really beautiful. They decided to go in there, and his grandmother had been ill. So he lit a candle. He lit a red candle in the church for his grandmother, and said a prayer for her. When they walked out of the church, his mother called and said that his grandmother had just passed a few minutes before. So at the very moment that he lit a candle for his grandmother is when she passed. Then that night, they were sleeping in a cabin way out in the woods, very remote. And he woke up and there was a red glow on the ceiling. And he said, Chris, I even got up on a chair. I looked all the way around the room to see if there was any light coming in from the windows, but we weren't near the city. We weren't near any lights whatsoever. And after I looked at the red glow for a moment, I realized it was my grandmother thanking me for lighting a candle for her. And then it disappeared. My point, Marilyn, and not just for you, Marilyn, but lighting a candle for those that have passed, and absolute, and not even for those that have passed, but for those that are really, really stuck, those that are really stuck in their negativity bias. Say a prayer for them, and a candle is very symbolic. It is lighting the way. It is burning old stuff, and it helps to break any projections that have been put upon you or judgments put upon you, and forgive people for their judgments and their negativity bias. And this is, and I will, we talk pretty often. I'll tell you more about this. Okay, and my dear Abby. Abby, confidence. So if I say to you, Abby, you're absolutely beautiful. What? Look at me, Abby. Is it possible for you to say, well, thank you? Because I'm seeing something that maybe you might want to take a look at about being beautiful. Because you are. Now, Abby, if I said to you, you are extremely intuitive. What? Abby? Abby, come on. And I'm talking to every one of you. Okay? If people are told that they have a pimple, a lot of people go, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. That's just devastating. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end. You're like, okay, I got that taken care of. This is like having the confidence. This is trusting. And going, okay, if I say, and I'm saying this, Abby, you're intuitive. Go, okay, and it will continue to grow. Okay. Who? Mindy? Mindy, Bobindi, Fee, Fi, Fofindi, Mindy. My niece up in Idaho. I love it. Everyone's from all over the United States tonight, and Bogota, Colombia. So, Mindy, call upon your troll heritage. If you've all read my book, you know what I'm talking about. And I know Mindy is, it's not that trolls are wrong or bad. It's just that they're really good at some things. One thing is like putting money away. This is grounding, and money's coming your way, but ground with it. In other words, put it away into a savings or a yeah, it's putting money away for you. And your grandchildren. Your grandchildren are extremely gifted. They're really amazing. Um, but ground, like even going out into the earth and taking your shoes off, standing on the grass and just grounding. It will help you stay out of your head. Okay.
Very good. Edna and Diane.
Okay. Edna and Diane. All right, Edna, here we go. Edna, you're one of the smartest people I know. So I'm gonna reiterate, because Melinda's your sister. I'm gonna reiterate grounding. This is laying down the swords. This is having peace. Laying down the swords of, like Kenan was saying about the future and the past, and we're only in the present for an instant, like just an instant. Oh, now it's the past. Oh, no, wait. Now it's, oh, and what I just said was just the past. Staying right here, right now, staying present, it's all going to work out, because peace is your mantra. Peace is who you are. Peace inside, peace outside, peace around you. You know, you live in one of the most beautiful places, in this beautiful home that you manifested. And what else can you manifest, Edna? Wow. And more peace. Peace. Okay. And then we've got Diane. Rebirth is awesome. Rebirth can be very challenging. Okay? You will get through it, but it's going through ice and fire. It is a rebirth of your way of thinking and restructuring your entire life. Do it now. And the way you've been thinking. This is a rebirth of your thinking, and around heaven, around earth, around the cosmos. You will have help, but it is letting completely go, easily and comfortably, of the negativity bias. And let everything that was said or done in the past, let it go. Make it sacred. yeah, but she said to me, and they said to me, and this was done to me, and make it sacred. This is the sacrifice card. Offer it up, gratitude for all the negativity. Whew. Okay, here we go. Who's next?
Very good. It's Ashley.
Ashley. Okay, thank you for being here, Ashley, and thank you for your contributions so much. So, my dear Ashley, if you're heading for the balance, if you're heading for the yin yang symbol, you know what? If you go straight forward, you're not going to get there because there's this electrified grid that's like, no. But look under, over, both sides. Universe, show me now what I have previously been unwilling and unable to see around this obstacle of self-worth and money. So when somebody tells you, or when society is projecting what wealth is, and you're viewing that as, I'm not that, then it's putting more energy into not being wealthy. It's a projection. Are you willing to sacrifice that? Offer as sacred, offer as a sacrifice, and willing to let go or willing to sacrifice all your old ways of thinking and what's been projected on you. Let me give you an example. So if somebody said, oh my gosh, you look horrible as a brunette. What? That's their single opinion. But you can take that on. That's like an example of a projection. So are you willing to make sacred all of those projected negativities on what you're not and be like absolutely who you are? This is around, this is going under, over, around. And universe, show me now how to go under, around, over, through, beside, around whatever it is that I'm thinking or that I've been entrained in thinking with that negativity bias. Woo! Man, I could feel the energy clear on that one. That was phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you. What a great message for every one of us.
Christine Luckett.
Christine in Bogota, Colombia. That's awesome, Christine. Thank you for being here. I'd love to hear about Bogota, Colombia. What an incredible experience that probably is. Okay. So we just spoke with Ashley. And I was attributing it to projections put upon what wealth should be or what beauty is, right? Those are all, they're not real. They're illusions, they're projections. Anyway, so we talked about that. You got that. This has to deal with your uniqueness. You know how, Christine, how some people can get caught up in techniques, like healing techniques, healing modalities. Essential oils will cure all illnesses. Well, they'll help. I mean, I'm not saying they're not, but do you understand what I'm saying? It's like this is absolutely inwardly accepting your ability without looking outside yourself for a modality. I went to college. I have a master's degree in human dynamics, which is really funny. That's the name of it. It's a master's in human dynamics when I'm actually in this field. But I wanted the letters behind me to go, okay, in a left brain society, I could use this to help a lot more people to do what actually it is that I love doing. So I went and earned those degrees. But it was like acknowledging that you are source. And that's what this is, that it's not waiting around, my enlightenment will come at 10 o'clock. No, now. That source is always activated. It's always on. And anywhere, Christine, where people have been impatient with you, oh, that's a hairball. Anywhere where people have been impatient with you as a little kid, are you willing to offer that as sacrifice? To make sacred. To offer that as sacrifice, that old form of thinking or time constraints. Time constraints. Wow. Oh my God. That was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. And letting go of these limited ways of thinking around things aren't happening fast enough. Okay.
It's Kat and Jared.
Hey, Kat and Jared. Dr. Jared, Kat, here we go. Okay. Jared, I'm going to channel Madonna. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. Our human nature is we want to try to experience or explain stuff, right? I want to read you a couple of Einstein quotes. These are my favorite quotes. Jared, everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. It's energy. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but create that reality. And be free of how that reality is created. Focus on how you want to feel, right? Like performing at your grandmother's funeral and singing and just how you felt, well, how it made your grandmother feel, right? Everything is determined, every beginning and ending, by forces over which we have no control. It's determined for the insect, as well as for the star, human beings, vegetables, or cosmic dust. We all dance to a mysterious tune, intoned in the distance by an invisible piper. Einstein said that. This is a mystery for you, Jared. You're very smart. You're a well-trained doctor, but you're moving into when something vibrates, the electrons of the entire universe resonate with it. Everything is connected. The greatest tragedy of human existence is the illusion of separateness. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one, but it's still an illusion, but very persistent. It's seeing past the illusion, knowing that it's very similar to Christine's and even Ashley, all of us, right? Every one of the cards I pulled, aligning with that and being okay with the mystery. You pick up a really good detective book, you don't turn to the last page, because then you lose the whole adventure of the adventure. Okay, I think you got that. All right, Kat, here we go. So when you're on this journey, and maybe you've had religious upbringing, or you've had in certain entrainment about how things should work, Kat, this is the meditation card. What this is saying to you is, when you're meditating, now I'm not saying you're like, and I've said this before on the show, it doesn't mean that you have to sit on a satin pillow with your legs crossed in the corner of the room with the incense burning and the chimes playing. No, this could be while you're driving. It could be, it's this focus that you have. It could be while you're washing dishes. But whatever comes to you during that time, trust it. I came from a religion that all the answers had to be from the Bible, or I had to go to one of the elders in the church to actually get the answer, because hey, they knew more than me. But that was my perception. This is letting go of that and trusting. This is your intuition getting really, really strong, but trusting what you get during those downloads. Trust it. Trust it. And then letting go, or offering up as a sacrifice any of the old forms of thinking that was passed down through the females in your family. It was an entrainment. It was of how women should be, what their place is, all of that. This is absolutely letting go of all of that. Good one. Thanks, Kat. Okay, who's next?
It's Elizabeth Whitting.
Elizabeth, thank you for being here. First one on the show. That first time on the show. Thank you so much. Okay, actually, Elizabeth, you got two cards that jumped out. So thank you for joining us. If I do this, oh my God, this could happen. Or if I did that, oh my God, that could happen. Or, oh my God, this happened to me in the past. You know, so this is calming your nervous system down. Because there were times where you've had in the past, you've had to be on survival, on fight or flight. And necessarily so, right? Necessarily so because of the traumas you've been through. But this is anywhere where you've been accused of behavior that was inappropriate during those traumatic times by family or friends. That is their projection. You were behaving as anyone would during a traumatic time. So anywhere where you have been told or taught, you really need to restrain yourself. You need to simmer down a little bit. You shouldn't be so bold. You shouldn't be talking so loud. You shouldn't be. No, this is absolutely moving into your time of absolute success, because the second card you got, Elizabeth, was this illusions of success. So letting go of society's view of what is successful. It's like that Chinese story where there was a Chinese old man and his young son. They were the only two in the family. The old man couldn't work the farm, and so one day the horse got away, the only plow horse, and all the townspeople came and went, "Oh, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck, Elizabeth, bad luck." The next day, the horse comes back with 10 other horses. He'd found other horses and brought them back home because, that's where you get fed. And then the whole town came up and went, "Oh my gosh, good luck, good luck, good luck." Anyway, the story goes on, and that's all I will tell it. This is not being swayed by what other people view as bad luck or good luck. This is letting go of all judgment from others as to what you've been through, why you've been through it. There's this teaching out there that, oh, God might be punishing you. Are you willing to let that go in all cases? Like, that is not the case at all. And any of those people they don't have very many doorknobs. They don't have a lot going on up here. They haven't made a lot of brain connections to actually reason what they're saying out to make any sense. I hope that helps. It's letting go of all that energy and all that judgment that's been put upon you. It's not yours. Okay.
Awesome. It's Giles next.
Giles. Thanks for being here, Giles. Okay, Giles. Truce. Call a truce with your brain. I'll only be happy when I'm doing this, or I'm only going to be happy in the future if I'm, like with D. No. Choose to be happy now. Choose absolute joy and peace and happiness. And look how lucky you are. Look how lucky you have been. But again, I'm using the term luck because it's been your own creation, right? It's what I was saying before. It's this creation. Like, look at how powerful you are. Now, what is it you'd like to create next? What is it you'd like to create next, Giles? It's not going somewhere to be with somebody. It's seeing that they're there with you right now. It's not, it's so time and space, time in itself is an illusion. Time by itself is an illusion, right? It's what we were talking about. Are you willing to look that, are you willing to look at the definition of life? We know what death is. We know what the definition of death is. But are you willing to, like, wait a minute, expound on your, I mean, you worked for a university, you know this, you're smart, you were in the military, you know stuff. Can you expand your definition of life? Because yes, people die physically, but they're still alive. And well, where are they alive? Have you think about that one, Giles? Okay. And who's next?
Scott Ambrosi.
Hey, Scott. And then we've got Laurel.
Lori and then Laurel.
Okay. So, Scott. So, it's the Tower card. This is the Demolition card. It's the Chaos card. And chaos is essential for major change. This is a major change coming and happening where you can absolutely get everything you need and want. And are you willing to be open for that? No matter who or what falls off. Because if you're okay, the kids will be okay. And it's teaching the kids to get what they want when you teach them to get what it is you want to really have an incredibly happy life. This is letting go. This is a whole new, the old way of thinking and doing is completely changing. You know, it's like what's happening here, Scott, is, you know, those families that have kept great-great-grandma's dishes up in the closet because they just didn't want to break them? Well, the dishes were used for celebration. The dishes were used for family, for parties, and not just to be used on special occasions or this horrible fear of breaking one of those dishes, right? It's letting go of that. That's a little bit of the when we're talking with Elizabeth about the illusions of success. This is absolutely putting it all on the table without fear of breakage and just letting her rip. Okay. I love it. And then we've got who?
Lori and then Laurel is last.
Lori and Laurel. Okay, Lori, here we go. Thanks for being here. You know, you've ever heard people, you know, I'm not really good at math. I don't talk good. I didn't do good in English. You know what? You can get good English. You can get good in English. You can get good in math. This is Lori. You are really smart. Start saying that. I am kind, I am smart, and I am important. You know, that came from the movie The Help, right? When Viola Davis, right, he's talking to that little girl and she goes, you is kind, you is smart, and you is important. Say that. I am kind, I am smart, I am important. I am kind, I'm smart, I'm important. And anywhere where you are going down to other people's level to try to relate with them, are you willing to let go of doing that ever again? Allow them to step up to your level. Claim your intelligence. Claim that you are smart. Okay? And anywhere, I'm gonna get a little angry now. Not at you, not at you, but I'm not angry. I feel this energy coming up, where anywhere where your family, I'm not going to mention individuals, anywhere where your family told you you weren't smart, or that you didn't understand, or that you weren't ready to understand it, are you willing to let go of that? Okay, who's next?
Lori, then Laurel's last.
Laurel. Okay, I just did Lori. Hey, Laurel. Here we go. Buckle your seatbelt, girl. You got two. Two cards fell out. Huh. The Lover's card? What is that about? Oh, it's about a relationship. And then you've got the multiverse. Anywhere, Laurel, where you've been trained to settle for. Are you willing to let go of that right now? So you find this absolute beautiful gown. It is absolutely your style, your color, your design, and it's a size 1. So, oh, you know what? I have to get it. I'm going to compromise because it's absolutely everything I want, except it doesn't fit. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Laurel, the universe is a multiverse. Everything that can be imagined exists. There is a perfect man for you. Don't settle for don't settle for one size or size 1. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's somebody that is your size, that really, really gets you. And I really feel it's coming in strong here. And it's actually coming from the multiverse. That's unusual. But as I said before, the universe is stranger than we can think. So get outside of your... So let me read you this, Laurel. This is one of my favorite quotes from Einstein. It may take me a minute to find it. Einstein said this, and I will say it slowly, and I will repeat it. So if any of you want to write this down, I did not arrive at my understanding of the fundamental laws of the universe through my rational mind. Laurel. And everybody on the show that's watching, are you willing to let go of your rational mind? And understand that Einstein did not arrive at his understanding of the fundamental laws of the universe through the rational mind. So when we're opening up to possibilities, it allows them to come in. Okay. All right. I love you all very much. As a psychic, I'm really feeling like we're probably going to do this tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time again. I love you all very much. Do we get everybody? We got everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Talk to you then. See you then.